In this video we are going to be sewing a slip stitch. The slip stitch is also known as the ladder stitch or the invisible stitch, and it's perfect for sewing things like hems, attaching lining or replacing lining, and joining two folded pieces of fabric together. It's really great because you can't see it if it's done well from the outside, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So first off, we need to thread our needle. Take it slow, choose a needle that is comfortable for you to handle, and choose a thread that matches the colour of your fabric. Now for this I'm using a contrasting thread just so it's nice and clear for you to be able to see. And once you've threaded the needle, we're just going to need to tie a knot in the end. So I'm just showing you here how to tie a double knot. So if you make a loop, twist it round so you've got a firm grip, wrap it around your finger, create a loop on your finger, and then pull the end right through. And we're going to do that twice so you've got a nice size of a knot on the end, so that's definitely not going to come through your thread. Now that's not necessary, it's just something I like to do sometimes. Now depending on what you're sewing, you can either insert the needle at the end of your fabric like I'm doing here, or if you have the underside of your fabric exposed, you can actually go in from the bottom and hide the knot and that loose bit of thread at the bottom, nicely tuck it away and start your project. So once you have made that first insert, what you're going to need to do is work on opposite sides. So if you started on the left, move over to the right and insert your needle right on the edge of the fold of the fabric, maybe about 1/2 centimetre, and pull the thread all the way through on the same side. And then you're going to move over to the left hand side and do exactly the same thing over there. So again, inserting the needle right on the crease of the fabric, grabbing about 1/2 centimetre of fabric and coming straight through, pulling the needle and thread right the way through that stitch, making sure that the thread is concealed on the inside of the fold and not seen on the outside at all. And you're just going to repeat that alternating sides as you go. That's really, really important, and making sure that as much as you can you're keeping the sizing consistent, and that's what you're going to do all the way along that piece of fabric. Making sure to pull, keep the two pieces aligned as you go, so holding them tightly in place. Do use a pin if you need to, if you don't trust yourself to be able to hold it as you're going along, and keep it nice and straight. Do keep them pinned because that's really going to make a big difference in the finishing. You want that to be nice and straight and just straightening it as you go, as you can see there. I'm just giving it a little tug just to readjust to make sure that that's nice and aligned, otherwise you're not going to get a nice smooth professional looking finish. Just because it's the first time you're doing it does not mean that you can't get a professional looking finish. That is what we're here to do. We're here to learn, and by the time we finish this piece you're going to see exactly what it looks like when you follow these steps down to a T. So if it's the first time you're doing a slip stitch, don't fear, you will be a proficient slip stitcher by the time we finish this video. So all I'm doing is just continuing on with the same steps that we started with, left to right, left to right, left to right. And as you can see here, I'm coming to the end of this piece of fabric. Now, what I'm going to do is just continue with the same motions until I haven't got any fabric left to work with. And when that happens, what I'm going to do is tie a knot. So to do that, what we're going to need to do is take a quick look at the project, make sure we're happy with how it's looking. If you need to redo anything, take the time to do it now. But if we're tying the loop, go from right to left, taking a pinch of both sides this time. Create a loop as you're pulling it through, and then put your needle straight through that loop and tug on it lightly to create a knot. And we're going to do that twice to make sure it's nice and secure and isn't going to come undone under any stress. So again, pull through, make a loop and tug on that loop. Now What we're going to be left with is this excess bit of thread. So you have a few choices here. You can either just cut that thread straight off and be done with it there, or if you want to go with a more clean finished look, you can insert your needle down one of the sides and bury that bit of thread so it's nice and concealed within the inside, and snip the thread just at the end there and give it a little tug and kind of massage it down so that it's just as concealed as possible and you have as little sticking out as possible. Now, I used a red thread on an off-white fabric, and you can see just how little red you can actually spot on that fabric. So if it was the same colour, it would be invisible. And that's how you do it, guys. That is the slip stitch. Stay tuned for more. And don't forget to subscribe if you found this video useful.